Hello and welcome. You're watching an NDTV Profit special, and I'm in conversation with Arun Chittilappilly, the Managing Director of Wonderla. So thank you so very much for taking time out to talk to us today.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
So
Pleasure.
I'll just dive straight into it. Could you just guide us through the reason that we've seen a little bit of a decline in profit this time around?
Yeah, so our operating profits is slightly lower this quarter compared to previous corresponding quarter, mainly because we've added a lot of management bandwidth into the system. We have actually hired almost 60 extra headcount into the company, keeping in mind that we are looking at growth in new cities. Some of them are top level executives, and some are park level executives in our new projects. So that's one reason. The other reason why we have slightly lower margins is because our marketing and promotion spends have gone up a little bit because we had a lot of footfalls in the last quarter from institutions where we share margins with third-party agents. So these are the two reasons why we have slightly lower margins.
Okay, all right. I do want to understand what's been happening on the parks fronts. Have we seen any openings in recent times? And what's expected to drive growth in the next quarter?
So next quarter, we are not opening any new parks. It's going to be the existing three parks which are going to contribute. But starting from Q1 in the next financial year, our newest park in Bhubaneswar will be on stream sometime late May. So that will add some revenues. We are expecting roughly about 5 to 6 lakh visitors in the first year, at an ARPU of between 800 to 1,000 rupees. So that's going to be an additional revenue going forward for the company. And in FY26, we will have our fifth park in Chennai, which will also open the second or third quarter.
Okay, all right. Could you guide us through what is the land acquisition strategy? Has that been completed for these parks that are coming up? And how do you propose to go ahead with that?
So land acquisition for our two new projects have already been done, which is Chennai and Bhubaneswar. But on top of this, we are also looking at land acquisition in Madhya Pradesh, in Indore, Mohali in Punjab, and also in the Greater Noida region in Uttar Pradesh. So these are the three other new projects that we are looking at. We hope to conclude land acquisition in at least two of these new locations within the next financial year, and we'll make an announcement when it is done.
Okay, and what is the timeline we're looking at for some of these new projects that you're talking about? Could you give us some sense of what we can expect going forward?
See, once we finish the construction of Orissa Park, which will happen next quarter, at that point, we will also look at starting building our one of these new projects, which is either Indore or Mohali. So we hope to conclude the land acquisition in some of these projects, especially Mohali and Indore in the next year, and hopefully even NCR region as well. Once the land acquisition is done, it roughly takes us about 2 to 2.5 years to finish, and keep open this park to public. So I think in the next 2 years, we can expect one of these parks to come on stream. We will definitely keep you posted once we have more surety on rates. The dates, and once we finish land acquisition, that's when we can accurately tell you when it will come on stream. But as of now, I think in about 2 years, we will have at least, so 1 year from now, we will have Chennai opening. And 2 years from now, we will either have Indore or Mohali opening.
Okay, so considering you've outlined some of your plans for expansion going forward in the next couple of years and even beyond that, could you just guide us through what is the company's cash flow and debt position, and how do you propose financing some of these projects that you've touched upon?
The company has about 270 crores of cash in books right now. We are completely debt free, so we can use our existing internal accruals for expansion. Once we have Bhubaneswar and Chennai on stream, our cash flows are going to improve dramatically. So I think a lot of the future expansion can be done with internal cash accruals, but we are also open to taking on some debt as we are debt free. So as and when there is need, we might take on some debt temporarily, yes.
Okay, all right. We've seen a boom in domestic tourism, in various facets of domestic tourism over the past year. I do want to understand how that's translated into footfalls and the kind of demand you've seen in the existing projects. Could you help us understand that?
If you look at our existing projects compared to pre-COVID and now, our revenues have almost doubled, and footfalls have also been growing very healthily. So I think pre-COVID, our top line was only about 280 crores from our existing three parks. So right now, we have already crossed 400 crores in just 9 months of this financial year. So that's the kind of difference that we are seeing. It's almost doubled. So going forward, I think we should be able to build on top of it. And also, we are seeing strong footfalls even in our smaller and oldest parks like Cochin is showing footfall growth. So that gives us a lot of comfort that we can see further improvement in footfalls in our parks, and that is in line with what's happening in the tourism industry right now.
All right, okay. And would it be correct to assume that peak demand is usually around the summer vacation time? And what's the company planning to draw in more footfall at that point?
Yes, for us, the biggest seasons are Q1, which is April, May, June quarter, and also Q3, which is the quarter that just went by. So these are the big holiday quarters for us, and footfalls tend to be higher in these quarters. Going forward, we expect strong demand, as like you said. Domestic tourism is growing by leaps and bounds, and also foreign international tourism is getting more and more expensive. So I think there's a shift in terms of people wanting to take smaller but more frequent breaks, as again saving up for big trips maybe once or twice a year. So I think that trend helps definitely domestic tourist players, and I think that's the kind of change that we are seeing now, and we hope that it will continue.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much for taking time out to talk to us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.